You told him that something had happened to Caylee and Casey was lying.
Sir, definitely something happened to Caylee. She's no longer with us. And Casey was the last one that I saw with Caylee. 1 and 1 adds up to 2, sir, in my mind. And no matter how you're trying to spin it, I'm upset because my granddaughter is missing. I don't know where she's at. I was told that someone had taken my granddaughter, forcibly removed her from my daughter, or my daughter dropped her off at some house. I'm trying to put all the stories and information together, sir. Was I running on pure emotion and drive and demanding answers? That is my right as a father and a grandfather, and as whatever you want to spin it. Was I upset and falling apart at the moment? Absolutely. My family was being torn apart. And for you to say that I was doing something wrong, sir, you're wrong.
Do you recall testifying in your deposition that you did not believe that the car was human decomposition?
Sir, that answer, I believe, speaks for itself. I remember being asked about this at the very beginning. And I talked about walking up to that car and getting about 3 feet away from it. And the smell that emanated from that car, I could smell it 3 feet away on the passenger side. When I opened up that car door, yeah, it smelled like decomposition, human decomposition. I will clarify that. If I didn't say that exactly at that deposition, at that particular point, that's because, again, sir, you have to, when you relive stuff over and over again that is traumatic in your life, you try to give the most complete answer that you can. Was it decomposition to me? Yes. Was it not my granddaughter or my daughter that I found in the trunk of that car? No, they weren't there. But there is a smell of human decomposition in that car, not the garbage that was in it. I'm stating true facts of what I saw, what I observed, and what I went through that day, and what my feelings were. Neither my granddaughter nor my daughter were in the trunk of that car, and I'm grateful for that, because I don't know if I could have dealt with seeing them back there.
Now, sir, the explanation that you give during your deposition is clearly the trash, is it not? Would you like to look at it?
Sir, there's also a difference between trash and garbage.
And there's also a difference, sir, of saying it's human decomposition and not human decomposition?
I didn't say anything about not being human. I said decomposition. I'm going to clarify that again. I think I've done that very well. You're trying to take this joy of my life away from me, sir, and you can't do it anymore.
Would you like to see
I'm going to answer this to you, sir. The decomposition that I smelled in the trunk of my daughter's car on July 15th, 2008 at Johnson's Towing smelled like human decomposition.
Would you like
to me, sir, that's what it smelled like to me. And my knowledge of law enforcement and what I saw for 10 years of law enforcement gives me that opportunity to know what that is. I can close my eyes at the moment, sir, and I can smell that again. How dare you, sir, try to tell me that I did something differently than what I did?
And that is why you called 911 right then and there, right?
No, sir, I did not call 911.
That's why you drove that car home.
Sir,
you're asking me, sir.
You are arguing with me, sir. I'm trying to be calm.
Rephrase your questions.
And then you went to work, sir, did you not? After smelling this smell. Then you went to work.
I know exactly what I did, sir, and I'm not ashamed of what I did that day. There's no reason for me.
Strike, non-responsive, Judge. To the question. In late January of 2009, you attempted to commit suicide. Did you, sir?
Yes, sir, I did.
And you even left a suicide note.
Yes, sir, I did.
And you expressed some guilt. Do you recall being on 48 Hours?
Yes, sir.
And do you recall being paid $20,000 for that appearance?
You know, Mr. Baez, I have been nice to you. I have tried to answer every question to the best of my ability. And for what my wife and I might have retained from a news organization to bring awareness of my granddaughter, my daughter, and other missing children. That's what that article was exactly about. It had nothing to do with guilt or innocence or anything like that. We did that, sir, for self-preservation, to bring awareness for our children, for not only my granddaughter, because of how beautiful she was, and the life that she meant to us.
I'm going to object to the narrative, Judge. Non-responsive.
Response to the question.
All of these media appearances stopped when the allegations of abuse came up, correct?
I believe that, sir, was done through you, sir.
Sir, you recall finding out another way?
Relevance.
Please let me answer this.
You don't recall being asked by Mr. Ashton if you had ever molested your daughter?
You have to be specific, sir, when that might have happened, could have happened. You're not being specific, sir.
First day of trial. You were asked.
And a question, yes, sir, and I never would do anything like that to my daughter.
You know, of course, that sex with a child under the age of 12 years old is life in prison, don't you, sir?
Relevance.
Sustain.
You're aware of the possible penalties of child molesting, don't you, sir?
Objection. Relevance.
Sustain.
You, of course, would never admit to molesting your child, would you, sir?
Objection. Argumentative.
Overruled. He can answer the question if he can.
Sir, I never would do anything like that to my daughter.
My question is, you would never admit to it, would you, sir?
Sir, I would never do anything to harm my daughter in that way.
Only in that way.
Objection.